Hello there, and welcome back to Space Marine. It's been ages since the last one, and I actually do have a good reason this time, which is that Plays TV, my recording software, has been really being a pain. The sound sync has gone all the way off in some of the recordings and essentially renders them unusable. Fortunately, I think I have managed to find a way around it, so here we are, I guess. Now, you may have noticed that I'm actually running a slightly different loadout to just about every single tactical video that I've done in the past, and that is because I have swapped out my blind grenades for combat stims and my melter charge perk for Laraman's Blessing. I've actually been having a lot of fun with this, and it might even be stronger than the old loadout, simply because of how amazing it is to be able to pop stims and just instantly start regenerating health, even when under fire. But that is not going to help us out here, because we are going to go down very quickly indeed. The main issue this loadout does have is the very slow rate of fire on the melter gun compared to the perked weapon, which is obviously much faster. So we have to try and find a way around that by using other weapons like the pistol to finish off targets instead of going for the second shot. Although the slight problem with that is that often the melter will completely give you a non-reg and you'll get 0 damage, and with such a long time between shots, that's a real problem. But anyway, we are just going to hang around the centre point and start locking it down, and also contesting the central firing lane, taking out that Stalker Bolter. There's another tactical round that corner, and he is making a break for it, which was definitely not a good decision in those circumstances. We have managed to take Bravo, but at the same time our home point has been lost, so in leaving that to our team, we're going to head over to the enemy's home point and see if we can return the favour. We will loop round the back here to try and come up an unexpected angle, and also take down that assault while we're at it. With a bit of luck, this melter gun won't notice the sound of our footsteps, and indeed he doesn't seem to have, so that is going to kill him. I'm not entirely sure how long we're going to last here, with so many enemies going to be coming out of their spawn any minute now, but hopefully we can at least get the decap, and indeed here comes some grenades already. And there's the tactical, and there's an assault marine coming in as well, but fortunately we are able to take him out as well. I don't even think he had him pen. Our decision to leave our home point to our teammates is not looking like such a good one at the moment, although we might be able to get the full cap on this in just a few seconds, if that is we can just stay alive long enough to do so, and indeed we can. Although under fire from a Vengeance launcher in a confined space, we were never going to last that long. It does look like our teammates have finally started to get things under control on point A, although we're still down on points overall. Moving up towards B point, we may as well pop some shots off and allow our friendly las cannon to finish off the kill there. Plenty of teammates around means that B point should soon be ours. We may as well just contest this central lane again and take out the Stalker Bolter. I think that was the same guy as last time, under the exact same circumstances, which I'm really not complaining about. There's something going on over there, and indeed we can take out both of those targets. And the las cannon up top. So, time to head over to the enemy's home point and see if we can get something done there. Now, I know there's someone on the balcony here, so I'm a little bit cautious about moving up too far. Instead, we're just going to hold back for a moment and let our teammates join us. I hear some footsteps behind. Ah, there he is. Now we can move in on the point itself. I presume that the enemy on the balcony was killed. Never mind, he's still there, although it's only a bolter and he is definitely not going to last long with so much firepower directed at him. Someone has spawned on the point, but he is not going to last long either. And somehow, while we're doing all this, both of our other points have been decapped and are being captured by the other team. So, of course, we are going to have to get down there and sort out the mess ourselves. There's one we can take out, which should just about clear out B point, and it does look like we are going to lose A point completely. So we may as well just push into B and see if we can catch out anyone moving in from A, and indeed here comes someone, so we can just quickly knock him out, and here's his friend. That's the trouble with the reduced rate of fire of the melter gun. If he'd got a bit closer and committed to that fight, he probably would have got the kill there. Instead, we are able to finish him off with our own Stalker Bolter, and we have been caught out ourselves by that melter running around the corner. And so ends our assault on B, with apparently not one teammate around to try and follow up on it. Which, by the looks of it, is because they're all hanging around back here. Ah, there's a melter gun trying to count that corner. We can't quite get the kill ourselves, but our heavy bolted teammate is able to finish him off. Here comes some more. We can take out one, and the other one seemingly has no clue about the actual range of a melter gun, which is really quite helpful for us, otherwise he surely would have managed to get the kill there. I think this time we are going to head back to the enemy's home point and see what we can get done there. And unfortunately, the melter gun that we just killed has rapid deployed and taken that corner to take us out. Back to square one, and things still aren't looking too promising, with half of our teams hanging back here and still nobody actually attacking B. We're going to push in on the left channel once again, taking out the melter gun and moving in on that bolter to finish him off. It looks like our teammate has managed to kill off the melter gun, and this one is not going to last too much longer despite some rather dodgy shooting there. Coming through this doorway, it seems like the melter has rapid deployed once again, which is not something I'm particularly interested in fighting, especially with such low health. So instead we're going to see if we can roll in behind and take out whoever is capping B. Indeed we can, and start taking the point for ourselves. We're taking fire from a plasma cannon, so we have to be a little bit careful there. Oh, I thought that would kill him. There we go. One more shot than I thought. The plasma cannon is still firing, so let's get to some better cover and start hitting him. Oh, we've just taken a massive hit from somewhere, so time to pop stims and get that regen. There's the plasma cannon flanking. We take a hit, but instantly heal it all the way back up with the stims, and Laraman's Blessing, of course, and we are still in a decent position to hold this, even though we are getting a bit low on health. We managed to get the capture, so time to get out of here before someone notices, and indeed they have, and this time stims are not going to save us from a vengeance launcher all the way up our backside. Meanwhile, our home point has been lost once again, but we are going to keep our attention on point B and contest this central firing lane once again. Possibly not the best choice on hindsight, but able to at least force a couple of them into cover and give us a bit of space to move up, although that plasma cannon is going to be a really big problem, and we are not going to survive that melter flanking from the side. Our team really does seem to be struggling here. We're not able to hold down more than 1 point for any length of time. And here comes a melter right into our spawn area. We can't have that. Okay, he is not going to last long at all, but we've managed to lose point B completely to the other team. This time they have managed to get the full capture, despite us managing to kill off 3 enemies on the way over to their home point. No doubt he'll be rapid deploying again, so we are just going to hold this corner until he comes back, and here he comes predictably. That is going to get him killed, and there's another one rapid deploying now. This is probably what's causing us so many problems, is the sheer volume of enemies spawning in. No matter how many we killed, yeah, there's the first one back again. They have absolutely no thought of self-preservation, they're just completely bent on spawning in. Okay, we've got the decap, but here comes the melter, somehow he survives our shot and does manage to kill us. At the very least, I suppose he should be congratulated on his persistence, having just been killed in almost identical circumstances 3 or 4 times. And in fact, here he comes again, still with no thought of self-preservation. He's just going to dive in and get himself killed almost instantly. It seems our previous sacrifice wasn't entirely in vain, as C point is now ours, but of course, true to form, we have lost A point once again, and it's just, we can't seem to make any headway on the points, because no matter how many times we manage to take 1 point, the other team is always going to take one or both of the others. We have managed to decap B, but they've also managed to decap C, effectively completely neutralizing any progress that we made before. We are going to have to trust our teammates to try and handle home point, because we do have a job to do on the enemy's home point, which we will get to in just a second. We have almost captured B, but we are about 200 points down, so we're going to have to do something, and something big, and I'm not entirely sure how or what we're going to do. But trying to take their home point still seems like the best course of action here. The rapid deploying melter is back once again, so we may as well put him out of his misery once more, which we can do in short order, although he'll be back in just 5 seconds, so we do have to make sure that we don't get caught out by that, as we did before. Although there are so many enemies coming in, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. We can take out the first, the second seems very melter resilient, and while we are going to engage him and stun him, the rapid deploy melter is back, and does manage to finish us off before we can get that kill. Another failed push on their home point, and time is really starting to run out, especially if our teammates are getting killed in spawn by a melter gun and a vengeance launcher, who we are going to push in on. We're going to pop stims here for a little bit of damage mitigation, which is going to help us out and allow us to kill him. But we are in a little bit of bad shape. Laraman's Blessing is healing us up quite nicely. This Assault Marine is going to knock our aim off and take us out with a bit of right mouse button spam. He's on 3%, just a little tap would have done the trick there, but it was not to be this time. It's really not looking promising at all for our team, still with so many players in our spawn, and although we do have a couple pushing up on B, with so little time left, I don't think this is going to be our game. That assault is hanging in the air a little bit too long, and we can't quite finish him, although he is 1 hit from death. Dodging that plasma charge shot, we are going to just push in and make sure that we get that kill. But once again, our home point is lost, and there are enemies all around who are going to start capping B any second now. We can kill the plasma cannon. Okay, I'm not sure how we survived that, but we are able to kill him off as well, but of course there is another melter gun, and stims are not going to save us there either. There are just a few seconds left with both points belonging to the other team, and the center point being taken as well. We can pop some shots off, but that is going to be the end. Honestly, it felt like our team really didn't have a chance for the entire match. I mean, we got a lot of kills, but it just simply was not enough because there was no follow-up on the points after we killed the occupants. Overall, a solid performance from me, I would say, but just not the team's day. But anyway, thanks for watching, if indeed anyone is around to watch after such a long delay between this and the last video. I hope you did enjoy. Leave a like if you did and subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you on the battlefield.